Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're gonna start with the daily analysis for Bitcoin here, where we are observing our channeling here taken from this bull run finished wave 1 as an impulse, and we got of course an ABC here to unfold as a bear market, and of course targeting our blue zone here for the 68k, which is the most common target for wave C as an ABC here. And of course, we are looking in the perfect area also here as technical support, where we might see, of course, a push toward the upside from there again. Now, basically, the drop toward the downside, as you can see, it can be, of course, different scenarios, which we're gonna, of course, see it in a few minutes later. But what to mention here for a wave C, in case it is an impulse, is that of course the price action here has left our base channel, meaning the base channel taken from the wave 1 and based on the wave 2, and of course we'll see the wave 3 exiting it here exactly, and then arranging in a diagonal here, and then starting of course to break the base channel, even breaking it outside. That is of course a very green flag, I would say, because of course something pushing for higher here is obviously breaking the channeling, and that means of course that this impulse has low chances of course to unfold yet as a 4 and a 5 toward the downside. By all means, the psychology here is changing from being impulsive to be an ending diagonal, meaning we're gonna see further prices, lower prices, but of course we might of course invalidate first the impulse before we drop down again. And by all means, if we take our label here, the most common target, most common scenario here with a target of 1.618 might still be taken, but rather than being in an impulse here, since of course the wave 4 is exiting the base channel, and also it takes so much time here based on the wave 2, because you have double 1 2 here. This is your wave 3. Your wave 4 is too much longer than the wave 2, of course reducing the possibility, shifting us to the next possibility, which is of course the ending diagonal here, where we might finish an ABC toward the downside. The wave C is an ending diagonal 1 2 3 4 and a 5 within the same target and the same area, and to reach even at least the 0.38 retracement, of course, from our previous bull run wave 1 here. A, B, and a C, of course, plus the technical support. So I'm expecting this area here to unfold something as a bullish, again, a new bull run for Bitcoin. But currently, of course, I'm looking for the 99k700 and around it, of course, to be invalidating this impulse, since, of course, this leading diagonal looks at least an ABC here, zigzag. And if it is the case scenario on the 2 hours chart here, therefore, we are looking for at least the 1-to-1 fib level, 98k777. And that means, of course, very, very close for the invalidation taken from the wave 1-2-1-2, wave 3 here, wave 4, of course, if interfere with the zone, that means, of course, invalidation for this impulse toward the downside, guys. And that means that right now, if we are in an ABC, I'm looking, of course, for the 1-to-1 fib level at 98 or 99k, and if we break it higher than the 99k 150, that is again another green flag here for wave 3, and that means of course we might shift to something even much more bullish in 1 2 3 4 and a 5. If this happens, guys, I'm going back to the daily here because, of course, I would like to explain what does it mean. If this happens on the lower time frame and we break this area and we continue toward the upside, that means, of course, very likely that we are in unfinished impulse yet for the bull run. By all means, you are in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. The wave 5 is still unfolding here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ending diagonal. So the wave 5 might still get a new high in an ending diagonal, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. However, if the wave 5 breaks the 1-to-1 fib level, again, taken from the wave 3 and based on the wave 4, that means wave 5 becomes longer than the wave 3. If this happens, that means, of course, we are in a wave 3 as an impulse again, and potentially this is a diagonal 1, 2 here, and you're looking at a wave 3, 4, and a 5, 4, and a 5. Why double 4, 5? Because you might, of course, switch here to double 1, 2. Rather than being 1, 2, 3 here, it will become double 1, 2, and this will be, of course, your wave 3. You have already double 1, 2 again for your wave 3, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and of course, bigger 4, 5 to unfold, of course, for the large double 1, 2 over there. So that means an extreme bullish scenario here for Bitcoin, that it might unfold toward the upside in case, of course, we break the 1-to-1 fib level. But until we come to this part of this scenario, we need, of course, to break the 99K. If we break it, then okay, we start to call the ending diagonal. If the ending diagonal is broken for a wave 5 longer than wave 3, then we call a wave 3 massive bullish scenario. So basically on the 1 hour chart as well, we are looking today also at some correction, right? So we are basically, after here we have finished the WX and a wave Y here as a triangle, wave E finished there, right? So W, X, A, B, C, D, and a E finished. You got a leading diagonal, and of course we start to push for higher impulsively. This impulse toward the upside is, of course, as a 1, 2 here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. The wave 5 is extended, of course. We have reached above the 1.618 taken, of course, from the wave 1, 2 here, and we're pushing for wave 3 toward the upside. Currently, we are in a wave 4. This wave 4 is, of course, right now in the perfect fib levels. For wave 4, of course, 0.23. And for me on the 15-minute chart, it looks somehow corrective. Nothing is impulsive, especially that you overlap all of this. And that means I believe that this might be an A here for diagonal, a wave B, and you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Can be truncated or even can be finished 3 waves here. That means, of course, a W and X potentially as a triangle, and a wave Y given there internally as a zigzag, and we push for higher here. Yep, so these are the possibility. We're still corrective, and I believe based on the timing, it might maybe take a little bit more time, but I believe it is already 1-to-1 fib time. Yes, yeah, it has bottomed a little bit before it, so probably we might still get something probably here to range a little bit more in time. So we gotta be careful. It might be an ABC, something like this, and then pushing for higher. What I know is that we are corrective. Okay, we are corrective. Nothing is impulsive here. Even if you want to take a diagonal 1 and then A, B, and a C, can be also wave B and then wave C later on, and then pushing for higher. However, don't forget, of course, the invalidation key level. Very, very important to keep it in mind. The key level 91K. And around it, meaning if you interfere with the zone 1, the wave 4 is not allowed to come to this area. If we arrive to this area, okay, then invalidation, we are looking to something corrective here, which is an ABC finished, where you took the high anyway, or it can be even WX and a Y, because this looks like 3 waves, and then pushing for a new low there. Okay, so this is what we have to be careful with it. For the timing, well, I would say it can still range a little bit for more time here, wave 4. If it wants to, it can have it, and then pushing for higher. Yeah, but in any case scenario, the things are tending to be much more corrective here, and of course looking for higher prices. Yep, so that was it for Bitcoin, the daily analysis. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.